Hi, and welcome to another monthly blog on seekingchange.co.uk. My name's Ian Wallace. Well, January is here, and unfortunately, as with all things in January, we usually start with New Year's resolutions, some of which carry forward, some of them, the vast majority of them, are usually kind of stopped before they've really got going. And I'm as much to blame with that as anybody else. And sometimes we kind of need a bit of motivation to keep on with something, which is hard in some senses, depending on what we're trying to do with the New Year's resolution. One for most people would be exercising more or losing weight. And it's very hard to keep that focus going if our goals are not being achieved, if the structures that we've said we would be happy with haven't been fulfilled. So if we say we need to lose a pound of weight a month and we only lose half a pound in the first month, that might demotivate us into not keeping going and obviously discontinuing with it. And that's quite easy for humans because humans tend to be very easy to kind of let go of things instead of keeping at things. If they don't seem to be working, we get very disgruntled, very disillusioned. So what I do with people who want to feel as though they've got something to refer to in a motivational tool is making up a achievement diary. Now, achievement diary is something which you can basically put in your pocket. It's not a big book. It needs to be in some kind of written format with obviously pages that you can keep, not to destroy. And in the achievements diary, which if you can buy something smaller to fit in a handbag or into your pocket or those kind of things, you write in exactly that, the achievements that you've made in your life, not necessarily just with what you're looking to achieve from the goal, i.e. losing weight in this instance, but your achievements in general. And they are dated, and there's a brief explanation of what you've achieved. And that then can become something you can look back on when you're feeling disillusioned or demotivated. And you can look back on and say, actually, yeah, I've done this before. I've got to this point before where I felt demotivated and I did this and it worked. And so utilizing a mood diary or an achievement diary, a mood diary with depression to lift your mood, an achievement diary with somebody who has a self-conscious process or not self-confident or those kind of things can be helpful because the written words can't be changed or altered in our minds because they're in black and white, they're written down, and we can look back to kind of focus ourselves again. The other thing that you can do with any goal setting is to use a small steps approach. Most people try and do too much at once. Most people try to kind of have much greater aspect of what they can be achieved in reality. And so if you use a small steps approach, which breaks things down into smaller units, then even if you achieve 4 or 5 of those small steps, it's much more motivational than actually not achieving the big step. So again, that's a motivational tool that you can use within your goal setting. And more of this is broken down on the Seek and Change website with the tools that you can use to do that and how to break things down into smaller steps and how to make them work. There's a whole chapter on that. So when you're looking at anything that you're asking of yourself, in a sense, and New Year's Eve, New Year's resolutions, one for most people on the planet, certainly in our culture, then you can utilize those processes to help you to become the achiever. There's nothing worse than looking at trying to do something and nothing works. So from this January bulletin for seekingchange.co.uk, maybe you could use it to join the website, and then you can find tools to help you get through most things in life within the process. Sometimes it's really hard to live your life the way you want to live it, and the Seek and Change website is all about that. Okay, you take care and have a happy new year.